How are we doing, Reds fans, this morning? An absolutely horrible day here in Ireland. The storm hitting. Not sure what they're calling this one. It was Dudley. I'm not too sure. They make up these names as they go along, but absolutely getting battered here at the moment here in Ireland with the rain and the wind. But this is the Shankly sessions that we bring you every time or every week on the upper tier. This is your Liverpool versus Norwich preview coming at you 3 p.m. Saturday from Anfield. I won't say under the lights because there's a little bit of a stretch in the evenings these days, but we might get the lights towards the tail end of it. Klopp versus Smith, two guys with very different aspirations this season. Klopp already competing on four fronts, no doubt about it, trying to reel in Man City. Uh, Two teams at the very polar opposite of the Premier League, where we have Liverpool title chasing and we have Norwich fending off relegation. So teams with very different aspirations, as they say. The Reds come into the match still unbeaten in all competitions this calendar year, which is absolutely massive for us. But they face a Norwich side on a bit of revival there with survival hopes, who have shown a little bit of form in the last couple of weeks under Dean Smith, certainly shoring up the defence a little bit. But again, when you come to Anfield and there's levels against this Liverpool side, no room for complacency. Every single game now is a cup final, and we are coming into a very, very busy next, say, 10 days, where we just had into Milan. Looks like we've got 1 foot, if not more, in the quarterfinals. So now our attention has to turn back to the league and the road to Wembley, Anfield South, for the Carabao Cup final over the next 7 to 8 days. The pace of Man City means that every game is a cup final, as I said, for the Reds. But significantly enough, this year, this is the first time we get to play before Man City. So we get the opportunity to lay down a marker and maybe just put a little bit of pressure on Man City going into the evening game against Spurs. Now, I wouldn't hold back any hope based on Spurs' current form that they would get anything out of the game. But look, you just never know. Light a candle this weekend if you're going to church, and let's hope and pray that maybe Spurs get something out of the game and that we have a decent victory against Norwich. I'm hoping against Norwich as well that it's not just the 3 points, although the 3 points are vital. I'd like to see a performance going in, and I'd like to see some goals going in. I'd like to do what we can to eat into some of that goal difference as well. That could be pivotal at the end of the season, so it would be nice to see that as well. But I do expect City to beat Spurs. I think Spurs at the moment are, Conte coming out and doing that interview, players all over the place, struggling for form, struggling for confidence, and up against Man City side that looks sublime at the moment. In terms of current form in the league at the moment, Liverpool with 4 wins, a loss, and a draw. All competition, 6 wins, so lots of form there at the moment, plus clean sheets, which is really, really important. Van Dijk at the moment is just exceptional. Norwich at the moment with 2 wins, 3 losses, and a draw in different form. And in all competitions, 3 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. So their form is very indifferent at the moment, albeit those 2 wins they picked up are massive and is giving them an opportunity to potentially survive. So they'll come into this game hoping to try and shore it up and get something out of it. But normally it will be a game that you look at in the season, going to Anfield against Liverpool, you probably write it off and say, look, if we get something, it'd be a miracle. In terms of team news, we know Jota is out, went off injured against Inter Milan, and it looks like it's more serious than what we thought first. So he'll probably miss the Leeds game as well, and could potentially miss the Carabao Cup final, which would be a big loss. But we have Luis Diaz, who could potentially come in, and we also have Bobby there as well, who should be uplifted by that goal he got the other day and should be able to put in a performance. Henderson and Matip will be looking for recalls. With 3 big games in 7 days. That's our team news there for Liverpool at the moment. So Jota really is the only concern in terms of picking up an injury, but a big player for at the moment. And probably in front of goal, one of our most consistent performers in the last 6 to 8 weeks, especially with the boys being away at the AFCON. For Norwich, Krill, Sorensen and Ombadeli are all out at the moment. Adam Ida, Rupp and Ozan Kabak, a man that Reds would know well, are all looking to feature in this game. In terms of lineups for Liverpool, Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robinson, Hendo, Fabinho, Keita, Salah, Firmino, and Diaz. I wonder would Diaz be thrown in there to replace Mane? That would be interesting. Maybe use Mane for the Leeds game. But it's nice to see that what I was really buoyed about the other day in the Inter Milan game was our bench. Our bench is really, really strong now. When you looked at, we could bring on Hendo and Keita and Diaz. It's amazing the difference it's been when all players have been available, and also bringing in the boy Diaz was absolutely crucial. So it'll be interesting to see what changes make with such a big 8 days, 3 games, including the cup final. So it's going to be a big 8 days. For Norwich, Gunn, Aarons, Hanley, Gibson, Williams, Gilmore, Lees, Mello, McLean, Sargent, Pookie, and Rashika. Again, the boy Hanley, I like Aarons as well. Some really good players there. Billy Gilmore in the middle of the park as well. He'll present a little bit of a challenge for us. But if our midfield is at it, it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, they'll cause 1 or 2 little problems, but nothing major, I would imagine. And I would expect us to run out winners and run out well winners. And not only am I looking for a win, I'm looking for us to put up a score here to eat into that goal difference. But I'm also looking for a solid clean sheet as well. I want that all to continue. So they're the key elements of this game. In terms of the betting, I'm looking at the betting at the moment. Liverpool are 1-9 on. No value at all in the betting market. The draw is 8-1. Don't be crazy, folks. And Norwich is 20-1. So there's no money in this game at all, unless you're getting into Liverpool, maybe for the handicap bet or something like that, or you're going for an over 3.5 goals or something like that. You might get a little bit of value. But straight up betting, there's no value in it all, and no surprise at all, based on where both teams are at. In terms of predictions, I'm going for Liverpool for a 3-0. Hoping for more, but at least a 3-0. And I think it's really, really important. Lay down a marker for City playing Spurs later, but also keep the title run going. We are beginning to run out of games, but it's really, really important that we keep it going. And there's a big month coming up for Man City now. They've a couple of big games in March. They have to play United and all. So we're hoping somewhere along the line they can drop a few points. And especially if we get that Leeds game over the line on Wednesday, we could reduce it down to 6, which would be very interesting going into the last 2 months of the season. So this has been your Liverpool versus Norwich preview. No doubt we will be back Saturday afternoon with the match reaction and the player ratings. Hope the Reds do the absolute business, and I hope this is a massive 8 days for us. Hopefully we can put our first trophy in the cabinet of the season. Till next time, Reds, if you want to contact us on Twitter at @SessionShankly, drop your predictions down into the comments. Of course, if you're on YouTube and you're over there, drop a little sub on the channel to help us grow. Also hit that bell notification. We're dropping content there every day now. If you want to email us, the Upper Tier Podcast at gmail.com. You'll get us out there on TikTok, the Upper Tier Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, audio versions of the show, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify, all out there for you. Let us know how you feel about the game. Let's do this, Red Men.